Georges St-Pierre always has a great 1-2 combination. He doubled up the jab. Right there, we see the Superman jab. Obviously, he knocked Michael Bisping into the octagon. He utilized his timing. He got cracked with a shot, but he did not allow him to stop him from his game plan. Right to the takedown. Prior to that takedown, there was 2 takedowns scored that Bisping got right back up. But he stayed committed to the game plan. He went out there. He landed the punch, clipped him with his left hook, got on top, landed an onslaught of elbows. The referee could have stopped the fight at that point, but he continued to go. He didn't allow it to stop him. He took the back, as we know him to do, got around that neck. Michael Bisping is a very tough cookie. He would not tap out, but he took a nap because he couldn't.
Yeah. Chris, was that fight as competitive as you thought it would be? Or, I mean, you know, by the numbers, which I believe we may be able to get to in a bit, but the numbers make it seem one-sided. But did you think Mike did okay in there or no?
Well, going into the fight, we labeled myself as a flip-flopper, and I was. So it was really hard for me really to decide who was going to win that fight. But what surprised me the most was GSP and how comfortable he was in there after being off for 4 years. And especially, like, I had a feeling that he was going to really rely on his stand-up, but not as much as he did. And I didn't expect him to be that crisp. And he was crisp.
You know, knowing how GSP just tends to shine when the lights come on, the 4-year layoff really wasn't the big deal as far as, you know, getting his timing and performing. I think for me is what GSP would he revert to? Would it be the GSP who was defending the belt, you know, every few months? Or would it be the guy who's been retired for the last 4 years and just kind of relaxed? You know, did he lose that fighting spirit? Absolutely not. He did not. He actually dealt with a lot of adversity tonight. Again, I was blown away.
I'm really curious to hear what he wants to do next. It's so great to have him back. I hope he does stay. Well, folks, they did call the action octagon side tonight, so let's toss it over to John Anik, Joe Rogan, and Daniel Cormier to hear their thoughts.
All right, KB, thank you very much. So on paper, it was the best fight card of 2017, and it certainly lived up to that hype. And then some 3 new UFC champions, not the least of which, Georges St-Pierre.
Just wow. The whole night was just wow. And to watch Thug Rose land that left hook on Joanna and watch her drop, and it was almost like I was living in a dream. It didn't seem real. All 3 fights were insane. The Cody-TJ fight we knew was going to be chaos. We knew the bad blood. We knew that either one could knock the other out. But after Cody hurt him so badly at the end of the first, to have TJ come back and stop him in the second, like, chaos. And then GSP. What happened? What happened, DC?
Craziest night ever. Craziest night ever. Because by the time the main event started, my heart was up in my throat and I was like shaking. You guys were talking about the fight. I'm just looking at you. Joe's like, hey, dude, you got to talk at some point. Because I was like, man, my goodness. Georges St-Pierre went out there and actually got better. He said he was better. He got better. I mean, 4 years away, and you come back and get the first finish you've had in forever against Michael Bisping.
Right.
And choke him to sleep.
I'm telling you. So for TJ Dillashaw, too, it's hard not to be happy for this guy, right? Essentially taking on an entire team here tonight. Largely handled himself with class here during fight week. This has got to just feel huge for him, his family, his team, and everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's validation. It's vindication. He was so close in the decision loss to Dominic Cruz. He loses his title, and then he sees the title change hands to a former teammate, and there's all this trash, and all these people hate on him. All that hate's out the window now. I mean, he won, and he won clean.
He said that he left to get better. How could they blame him for wanting to get better? He showed tonight that he made the right decision. Ultimately, if Cody could come back and get the belt back, there are questions. But right now, TJ Dillashaw has the final answer and the last word.
And I think with respect to GSP and TJ Dillashaw, most people's biggest takeaway tonight is going to be Rose Namajunas. Joanna Jędrzejczyk looked to be on the fast track to becoming the greatest women's mixed martial artist of all time, and Rose stopped her in her tracks.
I don't know if there's one that's more shocking. They were all crazy, but yes, that is absolutely a stunning achievement by Rose Namajunas, and what a bright future she has.
I had analysis, but all came out of my mouth was Thug Rose. I couldn't get anything else out because I was so stunned. Congratulations to Rose Namajunas.
Well, a night we won't soon forget here at Madison Square Garden. KB, fellas, take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. That's an understatement to say we won't soon forget this night. Folks, let's talk about Georges St-Pierre for a moment. Unfortunately, we won't be able to hear from him. He's in great spirits, but did have to get taken to the hospital to be checked out, so we'll try to get an idea for you guys on what exactly the issue was, but he's in good spirits. Just won't be joining our post-show party, which is a little bit of a bummer. One woman who is definitely celebrating tonight, Rose Namajunas. Kenny, you know, you could say she shocked the world. Some people thought she could do it. They thought if